Hey, Spartans. All right, I wanted to go into some detail as to how you can actually do this assignment. This is the assignment that I gave you. This talks about the kind of Islamic art that there is. This talks about how it's made, and actually, here are your directions, which is you're going to go onto this slide deck down below. You're going to open this folder. It's going to show you some specific pieces of Islamic art. And then I'm going to show you a way for you to think about doing one of your own. And you can do this by yourself, come up with one on your own, or you can try to mimic something that you see. When you actually do it, you're going to take this, you're going to delete this and start here, but I just have one that's further down. And the slide deck that I've given you, the actual slide, is a square. So a square is easy. It's a lot easier for you to get stuff done in that amount of time or in that amount of space because things will naturally be equal. Okay. So one of the things that's inherent in Islamic and Arabesque art is the idea of geometric shapes and patterns. And you're going to be using the tools here to make that happen. So the tools that you're going to use, and you'll notice that when you open up a slide, it gives you, this is what you look at. And when you drop this down, you get more choices, and these are the choices that you need, okay? So things that you can use in this are the shapes, okay? Circle is something that you might want to use, okay? And if you pull the circle out, okay, it's going to give you one. And if you pull it a little further, you can get it to be exactly the shape of this square. Now, you'll notice over here when you get your format options, okay, and format options are in the more. So you turn on your format options, and it tells you that this object is 10 wide and 9.78 high. So what you want to change that to 10 so that you have a perfect circle. And now it's all in the same place. And if you notice, it's filled, and you don't want it to be filled. All right, you want it to be transparent so that you can see all the lines that you're going to create. The other thing that you can do is make a thicker line. So maybe you want it to really be prominent. So when you click on this line, you can get a thicker line here. And when you click out of it, now you have your circle. Okay, perhaps you'd like to add something within the circle. Okay, you can go to something else. You can choose a shape. Maybe you want to choose a hexagon to go, or excuse me, an octagon to go in. And if you click on it and then you pull it through, you will begin to get a hexagon. Okay, that is you can pull this out so that it touches all of your, pull this in a little bit. Okay, and again, you can use this. This is 9.16 wide, and if you want it to be exactly the same, you can go to and type in 9.16. Now you have an exact same size inside, okay? And you'll notice that you're going to want to move it a little bit so that it's equal, okay? And you can keep going in and out. Oops, here we go, coming back here. So if I go back here and I want to make this also 4-pointed, 4-point thickness, and again, I want to take out and make it transparent. Okay, so now I'm starting to get one of these designs. maybe now I want to take a line. Okay, and here are my line tools, line, arrow, connectors, and I want the particular line. Okay, and I'm going to line it up right here. Oops, made a mistake. Go back, undo. Okay, so I'm getting my line tool and I'm lining it up right here, I think. Okay, and now I'm going to go to the opposite side and attach it. And I'm going to make its weight 4 point as well. And maybe I want to go back here and choose the line and do this again. Okay, and go back and change it to 4 point weight. Okay, and maybe then I'm going to do it again and put it over here. Okay, now I'm going to ask you to be much more cautious and use a lot more, be neater with this, but I'm doing this just for time so that you can see how it should be done, okay, how you can make the different things. Okay, so now I have something else coming here. Perhaps I want to add another circle. Maybe I want to, if you go into the call outs, you'll notice that you can get things like stars. Okay, maybe you want to use something like this and make it equal. You know, this one doesn't particularly fit in here correctly. Actually, you could make it fit in here correctly. So if I pull it up to touch and pull it down to touch and just looking to see what happens. Okay, pull it out. Whoops. Pull it out. Move it back to center. And it tells me if it's centered or not. Okay. And I pulled this one out a little bit. Okay. And then I go back up and I change it to a 4 point width. And I make sure that it's transparent. Okay. Now I'm starting to get a really nice Arab style geometric pattern. Now, when you go to color it, you can't just fill it in. You can't go and click on something and then use this and fill it, or you're going to fill everything, and you don't want to do that. Part of what happens in Arab design is the intricacies of different patterns. So if we go back here, and let's say maybe I want to put, maybe I want this piece to be blue. Okay, so I can go in there and I can take this tool, this polygon, the polyline tool, okay, and I click on a spot, and then I click here, and then I click at every corner that I want that to be colored in, okay, and I keep coming around and coming around until I've completed it. And now I have this particular place here. Now I can fill it, okay, and it will only fill that piece. If I go in and look and I see this, I can also pull this out a little bit so that it's more in place. Okay, so here I have this color. And what you should know is that in geometric design, everything that happens on one side happens on the folded other side. So if I imagine there's a line right here, okay, and I fold my paper in half from this side to this side, the red would be on here, okay? So I'm going to go back again and take the poly line, and I'm going to click on it, and I'm going quickly now so that you get the idea. Okay, and there we have that side. So if I folded this side over onto this side, it's exactly the same. It's a butterfly effect. Now the same is true if I fold the paper if this is the middle of the paper and I folded it from this side to this side and this side to this side, now this also has to be red. So I'm going to click out, click on my select tool, go back in, grab the polyline, and click on the same pattern that's down below. Okay. And again, I'm going to fill it with red. And then I'm going to put the same one over here. Now, this is a really very sort of primary one because I haven't spent a lot of time and I've got some problems going on up here and over here. It's not exactly equal, but these designs need to be equal. You need to do better than I just did on this, but I am doing it quickly. But I did want to show you how all the different tools and how you can use them. Okay, so you can use any of the circles or squares or triangles to drop them in. You can make something that's almost tessellated by attaching maybe some of these together. But you need to go through and you need to look at all your options, okay? So you can use those. You can use, there's stars and such in the call outs that you could use that could work, okay? So you're gonna use your shape tool or your call out tool. And then you have these line tools. So if you wanna make a straight line, you're gonna use the line. And if you want to make a polyline that you're going to color in, you need to use the polyline in order to color it in, okay? You can then go back, whoops, okay, maybe you start the polyline right here, and actually I'm going to start it up here so that you can see where I'm going with it. Okay, and over here and here. And now I have the shapes that I want, and you can go ahead and fill that in with perhaps a different color. Okay, so the idea is to make this colorful, very geometric, and spend some time thinking about it. Be creative. Look at the things that are in this folder. Okay, if you click on here, you'll notice that I gave you a folder that you can look at of different designs. You can go online and type in Islamic arabesque design, and you can see different ideas that you can use. But all these things together are what I want you to work on so that I can see these. And again, if you make a mistake, highlight it and delete it. Easy to do. If you don't like something, you can move it. You can make it go a little bit further down if it didn't come all the way. There's a million ways to fix it. And the good news is that you don't have to use a protractor or a compass in order to do this. These things are absolutely perfect for you already. And the other thing that I want to remind you of is to use your formatting options. Okay, again, they're here in the More section, so you can get format options, and that's what you can do. You can look at them over here, whoops, so that you can see what's going on in whatever you have highlighted. I can't wait to see what you do. Enjoy this. This is really a lot of fun. It can really be sort of meditative to keep adding and seeing what you can do with it. But I encourage you to be really creative. That's what I want for you, because you've been doing lots of writing, and this is for the other side of your brain at this point. So have fun with it. I look forward to I look forward to what you're doing, and have a great time with it.